Hello and welcome to Happiness Patrol. For those who are new to the show, we are tired of toxic fandom. So we wanted to do something that makes us happy, that hopefully will make you happy. And for this first season, we're talking about Star Wars. So we've got a packed show today. Let's bring some people in here. Let's start with, because he's next to me, Scott. Hey, Scott, how's it going?
Hey, Dave. How's it going? Well, actually, thank you very much. Looking forward to, I think I've mentioned Rogue One, Andor in every episode, so I'm looking forward to this one.
Pretty much. On the other end of the spectrum, because she's also mentioned it before that it's not her favorite show, but we're going to have fun with it. We can be critical, but we're not going to be super negative. Jess, how's it going?
It's going, yeah. Ready to be happy in the
Yay.
patrol.
Haha. And of course, the one and only Cameron.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. Happy to be happy. I'm happy because we're recording this, and anytime we get one of this show in, it's a good day. Mm-hmm. And finally, we've got Melanie.
Hello.
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 So, Rogue One. This is the movie that comes butts directly up against Star Wars: A New Hope. They run right into each other, and right out of Andor. We'll just get that out of the way. We know that we're gonna try to keep the Rogue One, but we know we're gonna talk Andor. Let's start with Jess, because I know you're not the biggest fan of this movie, but yes. I know you've probably got some big thoughts on it.
They're not big thoughts. It's not like a toxic hatred. It's just I have my qualms with the way that it was done. Because I've been an original trilogy fan from the start. That was my bread and butter. That's how I got into it. So when they announced Rogue One, I was so hyped. I was ready for it. I thought I knew what I was getting into when I was going to be watching this film. And I saw it in cinemas, and I absolutely left very disappointed. The main thing, now I will say that with the caveat of the last 5 minutes are some of the best in all of Star Wars. Like, I'm not arguing that hallway, it's always the hallway scenes with the Skywalkers.
Our movie's about hallway.
Yep.
Everyone loves a good hallway in Star Wars. I am in no way disputing that. That is one of the best scenes in all of Star Wars, and it is beautiful and it's chills. And I just wish the rest of the film had the weight and impact that final scene had. And that's kind of where I kind of fall with this, is I'm watching this whole entire film. I'm spending, how long is this film? It's like 2.5 hours.
2:14 or something like that.
Yeah. So I'm spending 2 hours with this group of characters, and I left that cinema only knowing Jin's name and the saddest person, I'm talking first time watch, the saddest person that we lose in this, spoilers, sorry, is the droid, the non-sentient. And so it kind of left me a little bit just wanting it to have had more depth with the characters. I wanted to have a connection before I lost them. And there really wasn't that. I felt like I left that film not knowing much about any of the characters besides basic personality traits. And that kind of left me with a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth and disappointment, because I brought tissues. I wanted to cry. I was like, I want this to be devastating. I want this to hurt. Like, and I shouldn't need a show that comes out 5 years later to make it actually impactful because you didn't do the character work in the actual film.
Mm.
And that's my biggest complaint with it. I think there are some really great moments throughout it. I think that it could have been a lot better if they had kind of fleshed that out and given it more of a heart. I feel like it lacked heart. That's what I feel like it lacked.
Scott's chomping at the bit.
I know he is. I'm like watching
Say
it.
something
I'm
that's
just
not.
disengaged.
Before I hand it
both
off,
sides of the spectrum.
I'm gonna go off on like the minor things that I know mean absolutely nothing to no one, and this is not the reason that I hate the film, but it bothered me. Why are the Y-Wings like shooting and not bombing? I'm sorry, they're bomber ships.
Mhm.
Bothered the crap out of me. I'm so sorry to anyone watching this, but go back and watch how Vader walks when he's walking up to Krennic. He
Oh, it's
leads with
awful.
his pelvis, and it is horrible. Vader is Frankenstein. He leads with his chest. He does not lead with his nether regions. And whoever they put in the suit, he swaggers, and I'm like, since when do we have a pelvis movement with Vader? It bothered me, and his pants were too shiny. Costuming department. They looked like they had grabbed them out of Spirit Halloween, and I was like, what pleather did you grab? Because these need to look a little bit more matte. That bothered me. And then the Masasi temples. We have seen a wide shot on Yavin 4 and how spaced out all of the temples are on Yavin 4. Why am I seeing the exact same wide shot that we saw in episode 4 that is canon and established? And I'm seeing 5 temples in one shot, whereas in the canon material that we are pulling from, you see 2.5 maybe. That bothered me because it went against the canonized culture of Yavin 4. And the trees were too short.
Temple?
What was it?
You're sure it's the same temple? Like it couldn't be.
No,
one
it
of
was
those
all of
temples
them.
and it's a different angle.
No, but it could be the other side of the moon, right?
Could be.
It absolutely could have been, but culturally speaking, you're not going to change because the way Star Wars does it, the same groups of people build the same like they're going to have the same culture. That it just bothered me, and the trees not being tall enough, because if you watch episode 4, those trees are hiding the hidden base. In Rogue One, they are really short and you can see everything, and I'm like, well, there they are. These are minor complaints that I have, and I understand that they should not in any way be taken into account to hating a film. However, they just add to the fact that I didn't feel the characterization was there for me. And then you add these minor things on, and I'm like, it irks me. It just bothers me.
To quote Harrison Ford, it's not that kind of movie, right? Like, noticing those little things. Yeah.
So, Star Wars, in my opinion, is best when there's the least number of lightsabers possible. Hence why, sorry, Jess. But like,
no, I'm okay with those tales. I love those tales.
Okay, so
but give me a character.
Small little diversion, but when they first announced that Michael Bay was going to make TMNT movies, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original rumors were they were aliens from space. And I went, we need 4 things in a Turtles movie. They need to be teenage, they need to be mutant, they need to be ninjas, and they need to be turtles. Star Wars needs 2 things. Wars in the stars. Wars in the stars. That's what I'm here for. I want to see ships shooting ships. The Y-Wing thing is a excellent observation, but I don't see why they couldn't shoot either. But yeah, they should be bombing. They're bombers.
It bothered me.
I
know not many people caught that, and I know it's such a minor detail, but I'm like,
it's the whole thing. And like, so Vader, yeah, the hallway scene, just when he picks up the dude and just like walks through them with the lightsaber, I'm like, this is just awesome. He's just like, you are nothing to me. Like, and just like, and like the fear on their faces, like they're like, oh, the boogeyman is here. like it's just like that thing I've been warned about my whole life is out from under my bed and here to slaughter me. And so I think the movie gets summed up at the very end when Jane Erso and Cassian Andor are sitting on that beach, and when they didn't kiss.
I loved that.
I love that so much because that's not what it is. Cassian Andor shooting the dude at the beginning was so, and then when you go through an unnamed TV series and you see how he got there, I can't remember the name of the series anyway. And so,
I think it was Cassian.
I think it actually.
Maybe?
I thought it was named after Krennic.
Oh, maybe it was.
That's
Rings
what's
of
up.
Krennic.
Yeah, I actually watched. I probably
K-pop Demon Hunters.
yeah, something along those
That's
lines.
it.
K-pop Demon Hunters.
What is that one?
Okay. So the problem with the 3 K-pop Demon Hunters is no. Okay. No. I actually haven't seen it, but whatever.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good.
Anyway.
It's such a interesting moment in Star Wars history, and it's such a this is the Manny Bothans. This is the I actually really like Forrest Whitaker in this. I love that there's always this rebels, it's almost like a dichotomy. There's the black and the white, there's the Vader and the Luke, right? And all of a sudden they're like, no, it gets further. Look at Saul Guerrero. There's a little bit of we want change, but not like that.
Yes,
and that's brought such a interesting viewpoint that there is people out there who are willing to just literally take everyone down with them to get these people and get these results. And the rebels being like, okay, now that we've seen in game design, you try to shoot for your edges so you know the balancing to bring it in. And that's what I feel like. We're not the Empire, but we're also not those rebels, the extremists. So now that we got our edges, we move forward. And I actually think it made a lot of the stuff that came after it make more sense. So you'll have why didn't they do this? And why didn't they fly an X-Wing into a Star Destroyer and just call it a day like they do in Episode 8? Whatever. Well, no, because we want the dude to come back. We actually like this dude, right? We're not like them. That's what Saul Guerrero would do, right? That's the Holdo maneuver is a Saul Guerrero thing, not a Luke Skywalker thing or Andor or whatever. K2SO, stop resisting. You're being saved, rescued.
Rescued.
You're being rescued.
It's such a fantastic intro to a character. Alan Tudyk can just if they made a movie where he just balked like a chicken all day, I'd be in for it. And so
you saw Moana?
Moana. Is it? Yeah. So literally, he's just that good. He had a little because he played Sonny or whatever from iRobot. I feel like you can see this is more of an extension of that with more of a humor. You see a lot more of it in the Andor show when he's trying to explain the odds of the mission. He's there's this he's the counter C-3PO where C-3PO is here's the odds, we're going to die. He's here's the odds, I'm in for this. Let's do this. There's so much here that, and it opened up, and it was this as you can see in the background, Scarif. It was nice to see a planet that kind of looked like a paradise, it was so, and
nice
there wasn't just that single biome.
Somewhere you would want to go.
Yeah, I actually legitimately think it's interesting that they built because it's why would you build your secret data depository on a pleasure planet for all of say if I was in this universe, I'd want to be there. Actually, it kind of reminds me in a weird way of how we picture Florida up here. Heads up. Just as in it's super nice and it's beaches and it's super cool, or in Australia where it's just it's super nice and it's cool and it's beaches, and you get there and you're everything wants to kill me. So I just love the movie. I love everything about it, everything around it. I was not disappointed, far from it. The one of the things I really and I'll end on this is there's this scene, and so you always have a lot of white cuts in Star Wars. That's their thing. I get that. The scene when they kind of first get to Scarif, they're attacking, and the camera goes through the space, through the lens, the planetary blocking gate, and down, and then follows the battle. And you kind of get a sense that like this isn't that far apart. Like when we think about space battles like Endor in episode 6, it always felt so far apart because they would cut, go to the next. Here we're seeing the continuation of that. We're fighting up here and down here. The stakes are real. And I don't think we get anything like that in anything else, actually. Legitimately, it's such a unique shot for Star Wars. So, fantastic film. Anyone have any thoughts? 11 out of 10, no notes.
Cam, you always have notes.
Me, I got stuff. Okay, well, I love this movie. I've seen it. I checked my letterbox. I've seen it 35 times, including I listened to it today while I was working, and it's a beautiful movie. I've said before I do prefer a fan edit. There's a fan edit that just kind of cleans it up a little. Nothing major. One thing it does is it doesn't introduce any characters until Jin meets them. So it kind of centers that story a little bit more interestingly and cuts out a few things like is it called the Bogalit?
The memory thing.
Cuts that thing out, which again, Star Wars always has a great creature. You know, there's Rancors, there's Wampas, there's Sarlacc pit. You know, there's nothing un-Star Wars about that moment. But you know, you don't miss it when it's gone.
It does something with the pacing. The pacing's wonky in that scene. It's like you said, it fits, but it's like,
is it necessary? It's not necessary.
It feels like a hiccup.
Mm-hmm. And even just when they meet the pilot and he's a little spaced out, and you know he's been in a jail and maybe he hasn't been fed and maybe he is kind of given up on, I was supposed to bring this message and it was going to be my path to freedom, and now I'm in a jail.
Well, and you can explain that because he's with the extremists too, right?
Right, exactly.
So they might not. You're scum. You don't get food.
The thing that I connect with the most in this movie by far is the way everyone parks way too far away from where they need to be. For me, that is a central characteristic of my parking ability. And that walk from where they park in Jeddah to Jeddah is like a month. I don't know how they
in the rain.
No, in the desert.
Sorry, in Jeddah. Yep.
Yeah, and then other places too. They park even where Krennic parks at the beginning in the opening shot. Mm-hmm. That walk to the farm with his stormtroopers was like 2 weeks. He gave Jin a lot of time to get out of there. The other thing, the first thing I noticed the first time I went to it, and that I was like, this I love, was, you know, obviously no roll up, no trumpet, no Star Wars fanfare, but just that shoom, whatever that sound is that it starts. I was really hoping Dave could get that on the kazoo to start this episode. Pretty much, yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Just things like that where you kind of go, okay, we're seeing a different kind of Star Wars movie. And they're putting a Chiron up of what planet we're at. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of planets in this movie, and we're really going to get around the universe. We're really going to see the thing I had been longing to see since the beginning of time, which is just life under the thumb of the Empire. What's it like living in this world after the fall of the Republic, and what's it like just living within this empire, and why was this rebellion and blowing up this Death Star and getting all the Jedi out of hiding, why was it so necessary? What is this evil we're up against? And so that's what it really fulfilled for me. The only thing I would change out of the whole thing, it is, even though, you know, I do enjoy the fan edit cuts and trims and whatever, the only thing I would like to see removed is the very, very last second of the film after Leia gives her, and again, I do like the CG or deep fake Leia and Tarkin. I think they did a great job for the technology at the time. And again, as you release special editions, clean it up with new technology. Go for it. I don't care. But the only thing I would change is at the very, very end, the Tantive 4 goes into light speed. And they're setting this in a time when hyperspace tracking was not a thing. And we know that at the beginning of 4, they're getting chased. And I wouldn't have hated if that Tantive 4 took off a little faster than the Star Destroyer, but it was just a pursuit. And then the credits rolled, because then we would be picking up right in the pursuit. So now we have to, sorry, go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, don't they have to warp speed so that they're outside of Tatooine?
Well, that doesn't really matter because we don't know how far Scarif is from Tatooine. And
true,
we don't know how long the chase went on. Obviously, there's a missing piece where at some point they come out of hyperspace, probably near Tatooine, and then obviously somebody spots them, and they're going to have to relay that to Vader's ship, and then Vader's going to have to catch up with them. So there's just a little bit of a messiness with that. If it didn't go into light speed, I think I'd be fine. I've never really seen an explanation as to why it does go to light speed.
I almost wonder if that's him stitching it together, that they never lost sight, like Vader's ship never lost sight of where they went. So it gives even more of that little sassiness of, we're on a diplomatic mission in New Hope, of, oh, what are you talking about? I was on this doing this. And to me, it just made New Hope just have even more of that. I know exactly where you were.
I was going to say, Vader's like, I saw it. I know you did. You didn't have time. I know you got it.
They could pretend to be a different ship. They could really say, we weren't at Scarif. They probably could. Yeah, maybe. But
there's more seething anger now into it.
Yeah.
I get it. You're in your teens and you're talking back to dad, which you don't know about this right now, but like, go to your room. Yeah.
The other thing I clocked one of the last few times I watched it was I was trying to figure out kind of what they were up against when they were on Scarif. And I think she just kept saying, we'll just try the next thing until that runs out, and we'll try the next thing until we're out of things to try. And I've always kind of liked that idea. I've always liked that it's a movie where the bad guy has no idea the good guys exist for the whole movie. He's more concerned, and you see that where they're coming from with Andor now, his position within the company and getting credit for this thing and getting it operational and getting the scientist involved to get it done and shutting down the leak and all these things. He doesn't even know that there's this rebellion working against him.
It feels
like, even at the end, he's like,
who the heck are you?
Yeah.
It makes it feel like it's actually like bigger. Like there's not just this one, like it's a thing.
It's not Dr. Claw shaking his fist at Inspector Gadget at the end of everything. It's just they're existing, whether the good guys are there or not, but then I like that when they run out of things, it's like, okay, our plan is to land on this planet, get these plans, get back in the ship, get out of here. And then they realize, oh, we're not going to be able to get out because they've shut the gate. So, okay, we can transmit the plans with the ship. We got to hook up the ship to this master switch, which always felt a little chunky. Okay, well, now that's not an option. So now we're going to have to climb the tower and use the dish on the roof to get it out. But in order to do that, we have to shut the gate. We have to get the gate open. But then once, they get the hammerheads and they get that gate open, which is, again, amazing. And I do think
the Hammerhead Corsair was just such a cool thing. I've got an idea. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I think it's the best space battle in all of Star Wars. Easy. And when they finally do that and they break the gate and you can see the thing go away. Well, now get to a ship. Now you can get to a ship and get out. Your original plan becomes possible. But I think they just kind of know They just don't have the time.
At that point, I think it's focused. It's a baton race now.
Yeah.
We're doing a relay. The baton has been passed, and because at that point with the pacing and that we're about the mission, and that way we don't have time to mourn the loss of each of our main characters as we go, because we're still mission. How are you going to keep going? So for me, it's like and it was very Dirty Dozen-ish of we got to keep going. We got to keep going. Like it's a mission. How are they going to go? And I mean, normally I would want, why aren't we mourning the character? No, this is, and again, that's how I just pulled Dirty Dozen. I'm like, we are trying to finish the mission. If we don't finish, this is all been for nothing. And
with Andor now, we know how many people have died
all the way through.
And this is just a great continuation of that loss to make this mission happen.
And I love the idea of Scarif. I really did like it's a beach. So it's a different type of thing that we're not used to seeing in Star Wars. And to Scott's point earlier of, why would you do that? I just think strategically, it's so smart. Because if you're a bad guy, and this is where I'm keeping all my nice little data, I can see you. Mm-hmm. I have nothing but wide open sky. I've only got one way in. You can't attack me from any of these short little shoal beaches. No, that's a clear blue sky. We don't have rain and all this other stuff. You can't come after me during fog. You can't come after me during bad inclement weather. It just really pushed this nice clear beach vibes. So you really had to play your A game to infiltrate to get in here. And I think that's why the Empire was a little too, you can't get in here. There's no way you can infiltrate this.
The other side of it as well is like, I think it's like really suits the Empire. Like we're going to take something beautiful and mess it up.
Yeah.
Like it's for what we want.
Yeah. We're going to abuse it.
Talking about the death of the main characters. You said that, and the first thing that came to mind is, I don't know if any of the movies have done it as well as Episode 6 when the Ewok turns to his friend and like,
yes, and that's all you needed.
That moment, like it says all of it in that one, like, oh no, and he goes like, ah, or like he makes his noise, right? Like it's
wake up.
Moment is that's all you needed. Just like, I might be getting confused here, but I think there's a moment where it's like he's like, hey, where's my friend? And he looks over and he's gone. And I don't know if it's this movie or Star Wars or just Star Trek or something, but like that was another one where it's like, oh, it's Saving Private Ryan when he's trying to like call in. He's like, get off, and he looks and he's like that.
But there's a lot of that during the switch though, when each person is like, we got to get this back open. Okay, we're gonna bam, and then that's when Cheers
with
the force is with me, and you can see Baze is like, Chirrut, what the hell are you doing, bro?
Yep, and I think that is the right amount where it's. The mission is so critical. It's bigger than any one piece. Mm-hmm. And they, instead of being like, oh, Baz died, or, oh, the Jedda's gone. We need to like spend 20 minutes like talking about how great it was, even though we saw it for less than that. No, it was just like, no, we need to get this from here to here. Mm-hmm. The only downside to the movie I forgot to mention is it needs more Mads Mikkelsen.
Definitely.
That's every movie though.
Yeah, yes. True. And I would have loved to seen him in an Andor, even a post-credit scene in Andor, or I would have loved to have seen a little bit of the Mads arc. You could almost do a third season totally from his point of view, where he's giving the message to the pilot and all those things.
Just him designing, like it's him in the office trying to figure out how, like, I don't know, that would end up being more of a prequel, but like, maybe. How do I stop this thing? Like, it would be neat if we started with him being really excited. Yeah, this is awesome. And then realizing, oh, this is what they want to
use it for the wrong reason. Yeah.
And I think that's where you see, I would say in Andor, you get more of that Luthen thing, seeing the architecture behind something. But this was more about the baton race of here's my, to me, it's like an RPG. It's like playing a MMO RPG. I've got my tank. I've got my who's my thief. Who's my my Jedi. That kind of thing. I've got who's my
DPS healer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. You've got all your classes, and it's like, okay, well, now this is how we're going to use them all.
And I think
And
that's
I
one of those
will-
things that
Oh, go.
Jess was saying she didn't like the lack of character development. And I think having those very much archetypes all lined up quite so well will never replace character development, don't get me wrong, but it helped that you knew what you were looking at, what you were getting into, who these people were at a glance.
Mhm.
So they were able to skim a little bit of that without
The silhouettes on the beach are really well too. You can really even from the far out, you can know who is who.
who is who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't feel there was missing character development at all, and I've heard that argument even about the prequels where people say, I didn't know any of the names of the characters. There's great movies like Neil LaBute has a movie called Your Friends and Neighbors with Amy Brennan and Ben Stiller, and it's a great cast of friends that are all intermixed. None of the characters have names. And in the credits, they just roll the actors' names. It doesn't always matter. And then you end up with movies like Valerian. I don't know if you saw Valerian, where they feel the need to say his name before every line, where they're like, Valerian, we gotta go Valerian. And it's like, at some point, it's like, we don't need these characters' names all the time.
You missed the good, the bad, and the ugly, which
absolutely,
literally the man with no name. And
Blondie.
two, I think the best version of that is Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, you don't know who I am? No one's going to know who you are. You can say their name all the time. No one's going to know who you are.
Yeah.
You don't, even in your real life, how many times do you really hear people's names said out loud by them, And I never get too hung up on that when I leave a movie and we're talking about like, oh, the guy with the hat, or like, oh, what I love was when that guy came in the door. And what guy? The guy he was a little taller than the other guy. Oh yeah, that's kind of all you need.
That was me, like the first few seasons of Game of Thrones. I had no idea what anybody's name was. It wasn't until like season 5 or 6 that I actually know. Oh, the Onion Knight has a name. Oh, that little snivelly little king that I hate. But every time he comes up, oh, good, he's dead. Yay!
Right, even the rest of the development, it's like George Oscar Bluth, George Bluth, Job. Like everyone has the same name, and it doesn't matter.
And I agree to that. I use the name thing more metaphorically than actual, because I'm horrible with names, to be honest. I still call what's his name Space Daredevil. I think is from Rogue One.
Oh, sure.
He's Space Daredevil.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh, the blind dude.
Yes.
I was like, where are we going with the hardcore of it?
No, in Rogue One. But it's, for me, I use the name thing as like a metaphor for the fact that, because to the point of like, you don't even get a chance to mourn them. And I was like, even if I had a chance, I wouldn't mourn them. Right. That's my issue.
I think that's the point.
But I think it would, see, and I feel it would be more impactful if it, okay, so for example, I'm going to pull this back to a book, which is Mockingjay from the Hunger Games series. And Finnick, spoilers for anyone who has not read or seen Mockingjay, but Finnick dies in battle and you do not get a chance. I, as reading it, didn't even realize he had died until like a chapter later. And like you see him die and I'm like, he's not dead. He's not dead. Is he dead? And so a couple chapters later, like I didn't cry. I didn't get emotional because we're in the middle of battle. But afterwards, when I walked away from that book, I was like, oh my gosh, that got to me. Like that hurt. But I didn't feel that in the moment. And that's kind of how I was with this one, is I walked away from the film and I'm like, that last 5 minutes was really cool, but I don't feel the weight that I feel like I should feel for this.
Once Scarif got blown up and you realize, okay, this is done, and you're seeing it from outside, and then Giacchino decides to pull his lost sad music, except now I'm using it in Star Wars music, and I'm going to make that made me tear up.
Yeah,
because it made me go,
great
this is where I'm mourning.
Yeah.
Oh God. And now I'm on a very low note because I'm like, okay, I'm happy they did it, but oh my God, at what cost? And it's, for me, it was like finally I was able to have that breathing moment. I'm going, oh my God, I'm actually going to internalize everything, and I'm kind of sad, and this is how the end movie's going to end, and I'm going to walk out. Nope. Gilroy's going to go ahead and make you here's some more adrenaline. Here's Vader. We're going to make him a monster now, which makes me so happy.
That's the first time I've heard of someone saying that they got emotional in this. Everyone else leaves and go, it was so cool. It was so great. It was like this, or this. And that's the feedback I usually hear of like, oh, it was such a great, film, and it told the back. We got to see the side of things that we didn't get to see before. And for me, it was like, yes, I wanted to see that, but I also wanted connection. Because for me, Star Wars is about connection, and it always has been. It's about the people, and with this one I felt like it was lacking in the people. Once again, the droid was the saddest. I was a little bit sad about the droid.
I got sad at all of them. Disney made this movie, and
and I don't know if they were too scared to make it sad, because it could have been that Disney was too scared to make it sadder than it.
They killed these people. They killed all these people, and I think that's something to be said about anyone who's nervous about where Disney's going to take Star Wars. Disney killed all these people.
Yeah, I think
from what I heard, it was the original draft, the original cut was darker, because you are killing all the main characters. I feel they had to change the tone, so they had to line up to go.
I think that's what I'm asking for. I wanted it to be darker.
I think Disney, if they had their way, they would have saved everyone. Honestly, the merchandising of it would have.
I'm sure there was talk. Talk of that,
or saving the biggest thing that I don't think gets talked about enough is, and maybe why is, at the same time this movie comes out, we have the 7 is out. I think 8 is what's following, or 8 had just come out. I can't remember the order. And I find Jane Erso a much better protagonist than, I'm going to say Daisy Ridley. I cannot remember.
Right. I did.
Right. Thank you.
At this point in time, I did as well.
Jane. It's such a cheesy line in the trailer, and it almost groan worthy. But when you see it, it's I rebel. We're rebellion. I rebel. That's what I do. And you realize it's like this fiery chant. This like, we're gonna do this. Like, and it's done in such a great way that I never get that from the other ones. 7, 8, and 9. And
she's given her rousing speech and explaining what they're up against, and you hear some feminist icon from off camera he yells, "Just let the woman speak!" Just let her talk. And I do also like that on a committee scale, they don't approve this attack. They decide this is too big a risk to take to send the fleet to Scarif. It could be a trap. If it is a trap, we're done. And when she springs the trap, there's no hesitation from the rest of them to join the battle, because I think as a large group, they all wanted to do this, but they just couldn't do it without approval of the whole panel.
It's like,
and I love that it's like, well, we got to get Admiral Radish, and he's like, well, he's already in a ship. He's gone. Like everybody's,
and that little smile from Mon Mothma too, like,
yeah. Everyone's itching for battle. We're like, okay, this is the thing you keep telling us about. Here it is, and everyone's like, I don't know. Like,
isn't this what we're supposed to be doing? I don't want to.
And come on, it's exposing them, and what leads Vader's search for the hidden rebel base, because it's like there's no way they mounted this attack without some kind of rebel headquarters, and we're gonna squash them. In A New Hope, there's the two things they're looking for, and one is the rebel base, the other is the stolen Death Star plans. And there's a few moments like when the droids get in the escape pod and head down to Tatooine, and everyone always kind of makes fun of, well, why didn't they just blow up? Why didn't the gunner just blow up that thing and then the movie's over? And I always kind of said, like, my headcanon of the whole thing was there's only one version of these Death Star plans.
Yeah.
And it's not something that, like, when they're looking for those Death Star plans, they don't want to just blow it up. They don't want them to be gone. They need to get those Death Star plans back, because in order to operate this station, they kind of need to know how it works, and they need the architecture. Plus, maybe they're building a second one kind of in the shadows. The idea that this movie guarantees that there's only one set of these plans by blowing up Scarif after they're transmitted off. I just love that. That was my biggest takeaway. I was just like, this thing that I've been saying for years about these Death Star plans came true. And then all these things are, this such an important thing is now inside R2, and here we're off on this thing.
And it's something that's interesting. It's kind of an artifact of the time when it originally came out. There wasn't a computer. Once something hits the internet, it's there forever. That's a theory that never existed,
right,
in 1977, and so they had to carry that backwards,
put it on their little
forwards/backwards into
Absolutely.
this for exactly that. This is it. This is the plans.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those nice little details, and there was so many little details in this film that I loved. One of the things, Jess calls him Space Daredevil, but that's Zatoichi. That's a famous Japanese, the blind swordsman,
Mm-hmm.
which is another one of those. Star Wars takes so much from Japanese cinema,
Mm-hmm.
and even though it's a completely different creative crew, they still take that inspiration, which was really nice. And I think that's one of the reasons why this feels so much like a good Star Wars movie, is because they took some of the same source inspiration.
And that was Donnie Yen. He wanted to be blind.
Donnie Yen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Donnie Yen was the one that
I
wanted
also
to be
love
blind. And they're like, "Are you sure?" It's like, "Yes, I want to be blind." And it's like, so he's bringing that piece in, and I still love the bag over his head.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I love the bag.
The bag over the head's hilarious.
A bag over a blind man's head will never not be hilarious.
That was so funny. It was so good.
Yeah. The interesting thing is I talked about Saul Guerrero, about how extreme the rebels could be, and that's like the starting point for the Empire. And you see it just like, okay, we need to kill like 2 people on Jeddah. Cool, kill the planet. We need to also, we can test our Death Star. It works. And then it's like, well, the Death Star tapes are off Scarif. Well, we don't need that anymore. Kill it. And that's pretty much what's like Saul Guerrero's vision of the rebels is like, if we don't need them, kill them. Like it just, and so it really centers the rebels, their movement being like, okay, we're not that or that. We're in the middle being like, hey, we can all live together and everything would be great. Like none of us have a British accent. We should be good to go. Like it's just like, it's oh, come on. Like
Is that Felicity Jones?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. But like, it's such a interesting, like, again, and it starts with, and I wonder if Cassian shooting the dude is like a nod to Solo and Greedo. I don't like, but that like, it needs to get done.
I just think it was just a nod that this is an espionage movie, and this is what you've seen in other films that just weren't.
It's Tom Clancy, really. Yeah. It's a Jack Ryan movie, really. Like, and
we can't use this asset anymore.
Yeah,
like it's one of the things that's cut out of the fan edit that I normally watch, and watching the Disney version after watching Rogue One or watching Andor. I did miss that scene. I do like that he just, he gets the piece of information he needs from the guy, and then he knows that guy's never going to be able to climb out of here, and that guy is he's a liability because he's out there with all this information. We've got to kill him.
Interesting thing is when you look at when he does it, he realizes that will be him one day.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is, and you can see the calculation. That brief second goes, we're just pawns in this thing. Sorry, buddy, you just got taken out. At one point I will be. And I think that's why the like just them sitting on the beach being like, mission's done, we're good to go. Or as far as we know, the mission's done. and letting the thing
We
happen.
did our part.
Well, and
Yep.
the way that I kind of read it is because we've grown up with the rebels being like, they're the noble people. They're the ones that take the proper road and the high road to fight the bad guys. And what I think that scene does is saying, like, not everyone's a Saul Guerrera, but even the good guys do bad things for good reasons, and it's complicated because there's no morality in war.
The in episode 8 when Del Toro is showing the like, oh, you all buy from the same guy.
Yeah.
It's such heavy hand. I like the scene. I really do. I actually like. Wish we had more. We'll get to that. But it's nuanced in Rogue One, where it's just beat over your head in episode 8. Like it just like it's I think there's more to love about Rogue One than there is most of the Disney era stuff, in my opinion. So
the other line that I would like to see in there when at the top of the tower when Jyn says, you know, my dad has put a fuse in the center of your thing, and we're going to be able to destroy this thing. It would have been interesting if Mendelsohn said, we know about his little loophole, but it's an impossible shot. You know, like we've done everything. There's the ports are all ray shielded. No one can make this shot, which would then kind of lead a little bit of like, oh, well, if it wasn't for a little bit of mysticism and a little bit of the Force and Ben and Luke, this wouldn't have happened. It would add a little gravity.
Which would have been nice in this one, since it really showed off the arrogancy, or arrogant that Tarkin was, how arrogant Krennic was, how everybody was just, there was a lot of being arrogant. That would have been kind of a nice, like, we know.
We know that
you're gnats. We just swat you away at our picnic. We don't care.
We'll blow up your base before you ever get a chance to do this.
Which I love when Krennic looks up and he sees the Death Star and it's Tarkin going, yeah. And it to me that kind of bookended with Andor at the very beginning, doing the shot of, your liability. Your liability.
The nice thing about it, and back to George Lucas's bookends, is you can see Cassian hesitate briefly. Tarkin gives none. He's just like, we're done. And that's the difference between the Empire and the rebellion right there. Is I think about it and think about why we're doing it. Tarkin's just like, you're in my way.
Yeah.
It's a very Tarkin thing to do. So
that's and I really like the fact that Tarkin was in this. I thought it's that him being, he wasn't Grand Moff yet, was he? Or was he just Moff Tarkin?
He would have to be Grand Moff because like
Grand
in
Moff
24 hours, Leia refers to him at it.
Oh, yeah, true. Okay. But because I remember when first seeing it, some people really, really just not liking that. Oh, they used his face. How could they do this to him? The estate said it's okay. Oh, they used his voice. The estate said it was okay. They signed off on it, people. But I agree where I hope as it keeps going, that if they do another version, just clean it up, keep cleaning it up so that way that doesn't get aged.
Because honestly, I think Leia's CGI looked a lot better. Tarkin's, this bothered me when I initially saw it. You can see the line of the CGI glitching. Yeah. At least when I saw it on the big screen, and I was like,
in 10 years when they clean it up.
Yes.
All those, I think people complain about it because look at Jeff Bridges and Tron Legacy. Like they're kind of the first one. It's bad. I rewatched that recently. It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Very rubbery.
But it gets the point across. It's as bad as
because I lost myself and knew that to the character.
I feel if it was done really well to the point where you didn't notice it, all those complaints would have went out the window. Because I feel they're not how could you take this classic actor and do this to him? I don't think that's the complaint. I think the complaint was it's not as good as it could be. And I feel and
I saw Leia's looked a lot better, and that's what kind of bothered me.
Well, she also had the hood, right?
Yeah, she had the hood on.
Yeah, and part of me kind of wish they had. I'm all for using makeup and actors as well, not just dots. But I'm old. I'm a little bit old school when it comes to that because aren't they going to do that with Ahsoka with Balin? Because they're not going to CGI his face.
They recast.
They recast.
Yeah.
They recast it.
And I think they're just going to recast. But again, people will complain. This is why we're here.
Yeah.
People will complain if you recast Han Solo as another actor. People will freak out. But then at the same time, it's like tune into Obi-Wan.
As long as people do their research and have those mannerisms, I'm like, yes.
So, can I ask?
Locked from their crotch.
Can I ask Jess? Are we allowed to talk about the ending of Mandalorian season 2?
Sure. If we're allowed, I mean,
I don't know, because that one's fairly more recent.
It is more recent, yeah.
But it ends with another face on an actor.
With that, so the thing is once again, I am always here for recasting. I do think that the technology is a lot better now than when it came out. Yeah. I thought this when Rogue One came out. It's different if I go back and watch Rogue One and I'm like, ooh, this wasn't great. But I remember sitting in the theater going, ooh, that's not great. And that's where and that was the first time that I think we had really seen.
What about Jurassic Park? There's a great scene in Jurassic Park, 1993, when the young girl falls through the roof and they're trying to pull her back up, and the raptor snaps up as they just pull her up. Mm-hmm. Again, that was a stunt woman's body and a CG face on top of the face in 1993.
Sopranos, Gladiator.
Yeah. I mean, it looked pretty good. You could tell, kind of, maybe, but you're invested in the story.
At this point, type thing.
It's one of the scariest moments in that movie.
It's so
because
good.
You're invested in these people and that. So I think that was part of the problem that you had with it. Maybe is it's jarring to see this character that you know is dead, like the actor that you know is dead, and he comes out and it looks a little bit uncanny valley, and you're not yet invested in this journey of these characters. And so it shook you out a bit enough. And that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, on rewatches.
Tarkin. But when it comes to like the end of, I have issues with a lot of the graphics for all of the Mandalorian, because I think they have a budget, and I don't know what they're doing with it.
They're in the dome. The dome is very expensive.
Andor showed what if you give them a little bit.
It spent their money on costumes
and let them out of the void or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you let them just go places and spend a little bit of money, it's going to be good.
They did a lot of practical sets in Andor.
With
and practical looks so much.
It holds up
better.
Yeah, it holds up. The Gremlins hold up. They do. They just do. That like the Tremors. It holds up. It was schlocky then, it's schlocky now, but it was all puppets, and I'm on board for this.
The caves in Fraggle Rock, they're all carved. They're all real. They're there. It makes a big difference when you're doing a show like that.
Yeah.
And you can do set expansions on the top. If you look at a lot of the Andor sets, it's a practical thing with green screen kind of around the top edge, and then they fill in the rest. And it helps to sell it when the actors can interact with something physical, or even in some cases when you're like, I've been to that place, and now it's in Star Wars. Like every now and then they're in like a plaza or the Feed Palace. The Feed Palace showed up in Conclave, and it's like, okay, these are real places. It kind of makes a big difference.
It's like, wait, I know.
Side note: I love on Scarif seeing the Dark Troopers and getting to see those just with the green and the tall and the lanky, and just them coming out more like, oh, this is so badass.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not just again on a beach, so there's no hiding flaws or hiding, or tweaking. It's like no, all black armor, all shiny, just. Imposing, like ooh,
nice to have a sunny place that doesn't have a filter over it. Like Tatooine always has that like orangey filter, and Endor always has maybe because it's so green, it has like a greenish filter over it. And like this was just like we're here, we're doing it. We're here. Yeah, here comes the sun. Doody doo doo. Oh no, that's no moon, and that kind of thing. So yeah.
But even like on Jeddah being dusty and, you know, a desertish kind of planet, you're just seeing all the rocky outcroppings. And there was just so much, costuming wise, so much fabric, so much just texture everywhere.
Can we talk about the fact that they didn't go to Tatooine in this movie?
Like, I loved it.
Yeah.
Although
Thank you for
Jeddah was a desert planet too, ish, but they end up in the, you know, in the streets, and it feels kind of lived in and real, and it's interesting.
If you play Jedi Survivor, you go to Jeddah again, and it's that same just dusty textured
that battle
amazingness.
That battle around the tank is a very, you know, modern look at war, where you know, like what a lot of the soldiers ran into in Afghanistan and all these places, where, you know, you think you're protecting this group of people over here, and then one of them throws a grenade at you, and you're like, oh well, they're mixed in with this whole group.
That's a great point. Maybe so when we look at when episode, like each of the like main Star Wars 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, whatever, the world in each of the, like our world, is in such different places. And when we get to like, there's this element of disillusionment, especially because like Disney now owns this. And I remember they're like, you know, this outcry and then silenced by like the fans being like, oh no, it's Disney. But we had just done that with Lucas, because Lucas had done 1, 2, and 3. They're like, oh, they ruined our Star Wars, right? Like maybe there was a new hope, but like cynical. I don't know how to explain. But you brought up the like the wars in the early 2000s there, and it's just like, yes, this feels influenced by that. Like Star Wars is of its time, and it says who we are at that time, and kind of the zeitgeist, the optimism of 4, 5, and 6, that we will be okay, and it will be okay. And there's a that comes back again in 1, 2, and 3, and we're going through some pretty rough stuff when those movies are coming out, but it'll be okay. And now we have Rogue One, which literally says, I don't know if it's going to be okay. You know it's going to be, but in this, I don't know. Like and like it's.
But they did use the whole rebellions are built on hope, and then heard saying that this was hope. I'm glad they at least had the forethought, to make sure it was stated within the movies, because it's like, yeah, things are bad. No, things are bad.
Yeah.
Bad, more bad, and then to keep going, hope a little bit,
and
here and there.
It ties in so well. I know we're trying to wrap it up, but I just love, like, there's no better double feature in the whole Star Wars saga. Just to go Rogue One, A New Hope, it just ties that thing together, and it's exactly what we love about it.
Because you haven't done the Andor season 1, season 2, Rogue One yet. So
and it's a great trilogy too. You do the Andor in there.
And I like how for Tony Gilroy, it's him going, no. I'm butting this up here, and it's gonna butt up against here. You cannot play on my world. You could do something else somewhere else, but you are not touching my precious.
Yeah. Also,
you can't fit something in here.
Saddest moment in all of Star Wars is in Andor season 1, episode 9.
Swimming.
I can't swim.
I can't.
Yeah.
My partner and I are sitting on the couch, and we're just like, this is right. This is awesome. Let's do this. All of a sudden, no. Oh yeah.
One way out.
And it's such a because it's so hopeful at that moment, and especially because it was earned. It was so earned, and then all of a sudden he turns and goes, like I wasn't expecting this, and you're just like, oh,
doesn't come back.
But there's still hope, and next month that's what we're doing is A New Hope.
Jess just lost it to that.
Segue out fast. Hard segue out. Just...
Happiness patrol. We're ending with hope and happiness.
Happy. Anyways,
At this
Like,
point, is if you're
Make
happy,
me happy.
clap your hands. You're like,
I'm excited for A New Hope because so much has been said about it over 50 years, 48
oh yeah,
years.
it comes back to theaters right away.
Yeah. There's so many different versions and so many different things to talk about. I think it's going to be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be great, and that'll be next month, and that's been today. So, Scott, quickly, what is something that's making you happy, and where can we find you?
Again, I if I don't say it, I look forward to our chats. I look forward to seeing Jess and Cam and Mel and Dave. But I'm looking forward to Tron. Tron comes out soon. Actually, when this goes live, much sooner. New Nine Inch Nails, September 19th for that 24 tracks of Nine Inch Nails doing Tron, which again, when you saw Daft Punk, you're like, yep, that makes sense. But I think Nine Inch Nails has a lot. I actually think Tron 3 is going to be like the Rogue One of the Tron series, where it's going to be dark. PG-13, I found out today, so it's going to be good. That's making me happy. Summer's almost over. Looking forward to the next one. Really enjoy chatting with you guys. So,
And where can we find you?
Breakfast Scotch National. Oh, I did it right this time. I am terrible at the whole pointing at things. Pawn and Pixel will be starting up soon again. That's going to be something interesting. But what did I do? Oh, the Air Canada strike's going on right now. So I just wrote an article about that. Canada government doing the wrong choice on this one. I stand with the Air Canada people. But by the time you see this, it hopefully would have been figured out.
Dear God, hopefully.
Hopefully that, yeah. So
this drops in October, so if it's not, we've got big problems.
no one wants to fly WestJet.
Yeah.
So, or Spirit or whatever you got. I'm trying to think what in Florida they just like
Frontier.
strap you to like a
Breeze.
crane and just like go, or just catapult an alligator or something. I don't know what you do.
No, it's the air gliders ships. What? Oh shoot! What are they called?
A Zeppelin?
No, I'm
What
thinking
am
like
I What in the Jules Verne are you talking about?
Mel's made more sense.
You
yeah.
guys have monorails down there.
No, I was thinking of
Monorail.
the thing that goes
We don't
on
even
the
have-
marshes. The
Oh, a hovercraft, like a
but
fan
then-
boat.
Are you talking about like an
fan
airboat?
Hold on, you're
Yes.
from Florida. She could be talking about like alien abduction. So like it's this weird saucer comes and then you get on it.
You
and
don't
then,
know that?
Hopefully they stop at your destination. You
Tampa
just-
International Airport happens to be one of the premium airports.
They don't have that in Tampa. No, it's the
We're not marshes.
not
We're not
glacier.
the Blades.
I keep trying to think glacier, but that's not the right word.
Glades. The
Glades.
Everglades.
Yeah, the Glade.
Everglades.
Marsh. Yes, it's also the Bayou of Louisiana. Airboats.
How did we get here?
Are they
I don't
called
know.
airboats? Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
You got us
Anyway,
here,
When they
Scott.
strap a gigantic fan
I'm
on the back of a
sorry.
boat and go.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what we use here. I
Airboat
think.
ride. No, we don't.
I've never been on
The
one,
hell?
but obviously,
Is that
I don't
like,
know what they're called.
Don't say
They
that.
are fun.
In Florida, that's how you keep your like membership.
They're gonna kick me out. Yeah.
You need to
Oh,
know the
wow.
difference between an alligator and a crocodile, and you need to know.
Oh,
Had
okay.
seen the movie Gator with Burt Reynolds, and
Yeah.
and I don't even know. Like you
I
have
know
to
how
write
to-
If
one
they
of the
kick you out,
airplanes.
you can come to
Avoid
Alberta.
bull shark
Okay.
attacks.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
You come to Alberta. That's
get
with the
those.
rest of us.
you'll fit right in. And that makes me both happy and sad.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Cameron, where can we find you? And what's making you happy?
Yeah,
Alberta.
it was my daughter's birthday, and
Oh,
we had
yay, happy birthday!
Ooh, happy birthday!
and my son lent me a microphone, so that was kind of fun.
Ooh.
Maybe you can hear me. I don't know.
Upgrade.
Yeah, I just I'm happy if this airs in October.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's my birthday's in October. Actually, Tron comes out on my birthday, so I'm.
That's cool.
I'm gonna go to Tron on my birthday, but yeah, that's where I'm at, and yeah, this Star Wars, and we get to do A New Hope next, which is gonna be great.
Exactly. And where can we find you outside of this?
Well, I'm on this letterbox.com where I do a lot of things. And then actually, sneak preview, we are talking about starting another little thing just like this, where we're going to talk about Western movies, the top 100 Westerns of all time. It's called Horses on Film, and that will be hopefully maybe out by the time this is out. We'll see. Maybe getting close to being out. So I'll be pushing that everywhere.
Excellent.
Yay!
Well, the Muppet Show.
Jessica, where can we find you? We'll know it's something that's making you happy.
You can find me at SongSwan Cosplay on Instagram or Facebook. I've got cosplays and stuff, and a lot of my Star Wars stuff gets posted there. And then things that are making me happy. Talking with you guys. It's pretty happy. You mean other than this? Oh.
I mean, I always say this, so
I know. Yeah, you. I learned from last time. I gotta steal yours before you take it. No, but I'm working on a bunch of different. Oh my goodness! I am prepping to go to Turkey for
Ooh.
funsies. So yeah, so I'll be in Turkey for a little bit, while also prepping for like a Ren Fair show. We're doing a live chessboard that's Wonderland themed in December.
Sweet.
Ooh.
So yeah, me and CJ are card soldiers, so we're gonna be, Queen of Hearts.
Off with their heads.
Off with your heads.
That's fun.
That's really cool. That's actually really cool.
That's really cool.
I am 5 of Hearts, so I have the nickname Fives.
Heck yes!
I'm just saying. And my other thing is, because we're red hearts, we're on the red side. I'm red 5, standing
five.
by.
I like it.
Good, pretty good.
I'm stealing
Nice.
all of the Star Wars
So-
stuff
Please do.
for my character.
Do people get to walk up and play chess, and you guys have to be there?
So it's predetermined because we're actually using like steel weapons to fight each other. So it's like Wizard's chess,
Okay.
but it's done as a show. So it's
Okay.
like predetermined moves and stuff.
Prepared. Yeah. Oh, cool.
But I think there's 2 chessboards, and then like during the day we interact with people and create the ambiance as those characters and encourage people to come and see the chess matches. So
Very cool.
that's gonna be very cool.
yeah.
That is actually super cool.
And Melanie, what's something that's making you happy, and where can we find you?
By the time this airs, I've already going to have done it. So this Sunday is the 40th anniversary of the movie Clue. And I'm going to go see it. It's going to be in theater. So I'm going to go see it because I
That's super
love the hell out of that movie. I don't know if they're going to do all 3 endings or they're going to mix and match all of them. I don't know. I can't wait. I love that movie. Other than that, it's just working. So I find I'm very happy when I get to just disengage from work and not think of tariffs and not think of anything product line chain, supply chain, logistics stuff. And talk to y'all. But yeah, I you can find me on my that way. Boop, my Instagram there. But I'm kind of MIA on it right now because again, life. But yeah, I think in September I have to go to Oklahoma City for work, and so maybe I'll post stuff. But yeah, it's mostly this is where I kind of live and breathe right now when it comes to mosaic, stained glass, and all that kind of stuff. We did Tampa Bay Comic-Con, and I got to teach a lot of people about stained glass, which was really, really cool.
Very
That
good.
is really
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
So yeah,
As-
that's it.
As for me, and as was already stolen, all y'all make me happy. Coming in here,
Yay.
recording with you guys, making people happy at home. Horses on Film. I'm excited to do that. I've been prepping for that because I have not watched nearly as many of the top 100 westerns as Cam has. I think the rest of us combined have not watched as many as Cam. So this is going to be a fun time. So definitely looking forward to that. Looking forward to next month and doing this all again. Until then, you can find me on my main YouTube, youtube.com/therrathole DOTCA, because YouTube does not like URLs in their URLs. And of course, you can find us here every month, youtube.com/@happinesspatrolshow. Please give us a like, please give us a share, and please subscribe. Nothing is more important to the lifeblood of a small YouTube channel than people interacting and engaging with the content. So please share us out, give us a like, hit that little reminder bell. We only do 1 month at a time. A show, 1 month. We only do 1 month a show.
Yes, I see.
Yes,
Yeah.
one month a show.
1 month a
Quite
show.
right.
We also only do 1 show a month.
That's Yoda speak. That's
Oh. We only do 1 month a show.
do
Terrible.
or do not. There is no trouble.
We'll get to that in episode 5.
Yeah, we'll get to that next month.
Yeah.
But seriously, thank you guys for coming out, doing all of this, and having some fun. We could have gone on for another hour easily.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, when one of them aired, you were showing me, is there a live chat? Like when it airs, when it drops the first, is there like a live chat?
When we go, this will premiere, and we can all join in and chat as the premiere happens.
All right, man. Well, I'll try to be there.
Yeah, actually, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Have a little party in the comment section.
Yeah.
Ooh, good fun.
All right, so then we will put this thing up because we can do that.
Give me the kazoo.
And we need the kazoo. Disney, please don't sue us.